Good morning, everyone. Bonjour à tous. I'd like to thank my colleagues, Bruce Fanjoy, Member of Parliament for Carleton, and Marty Carr, our local councillor for Alta Vista, for joining us here this morning. Last week, our government announced Budget 2025, a plan to build, protect, and empower Canadians' future. If you had asked me a little over a year ago, asked me whether Canada would be where we are today, I wouldn't have believed you. But we are at a hinge moment for our country, a time when we need to take control of our future. Il est presque impossible de se projeter vers l'avenir sans reconnaître que le Canada doit construire différemment. Nous devons construire plus rapidement, plus efficacement et avec plus de créativité. That's why today I am pleased to announce that Build Canada Homes is investing right here in 1495 Heron Road, here in the Alta Vista neighborhood. This is an exciting step forward in our work to address housing needs and build stronger, more inclusive communities. This site is very well located. It's close to schools, parks, and public amenities, and just a short drive from the downtown core. It's about 15 minutes to the airport and 15 minutes to the train station. It's a familiar place to many in the community, with a rich history that dates back to the 1960s, when it was first developed by the Sisters of the Congregation of Notre Dame. Later it became the Federal Study Centre, and in 2020, Canada Lands Company took ownership and began planning for its future. Now, that future includes housing. The redevelopment will create approximately 1,100 homes on this 18-acre site. A portion of the land has been prioritized for a direct build project, which means the federal government will lead construction using modern building methods that help deliver homes faster and more efficiently. Some of the existing buildings will be thoughtfully repurposed to honor the site's heritage, while new homes will be designed to meet the needs of today's families. Au moins 40% des maisons seront offertes à des prix inférieurs au marché, et nous travaillons à les rendre aussi abordables que possible. Ces maisons resteront en propriété publique, ce qui contribuera à les garder abordables pour les années à venir. This project is part of a larger national effort. It builds on the recent investment for Arbo Downsview in Toronto and is part of a broader national effort to unlock the potential of federal lands for housing. Across 6 initial sites in Dartmouth, Longueuil, Ottawa, Toronto, Winnipeg, and Edmonton, Build Canada Homes will deliver up to 4,000 homes, with the potential to scale up to 45,000 homes by 2031. Through Build Canada Homes, we are investing $13 billion to help build more homes faster. That includes providing land, flexible financing, and supporting builders to get big projects off the ground. It is important that this project become reality because we know that when people have access to safe, stable, and affordable housing, communities thrive. L'annonce d'aujourd'hui est un pas dans cette direction. Nous invitons les constructeurs, promoteurs et partenaires à apporter leurs idées et leur expertise à ce projet et à contribuer à façonner un nouveau chapitre pour Heron Road. Together we're building a future where more Canadians can find a place to call home. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Are there any questions?
Your budget is proposing to make changes in the way that the disability pension is calculated for veterans and also other people such as the RCMP. So your budget is proposing changes in the disability pension. Will those changes result in veterans receiving less money?
That's not my understanding. I don't know the details of those calculations at this time. I know we've made some significant investments in the budget, for example, in the RCMP, in CBSA. I know that we've expanded the number of officers being recruited for each of those organizations by 1,000. I also know that we've actually made a significant change to CBSA's pension so that officers will be able to maximize their pension after 25 years. They'll be joining the ranks of our military and our RCMP. So the details to which you refer at this stage, I'm not aware. I don't think it's going to have a negative effect on pensions, but that's something I'll look into.
Okay, I just wanted to follow up. The U.S. Defense Department has provided funding to a mine in New Brunswick called CISN. So the Defense Department of the U.S. has provided money for this mine, which is set to be fast-tracked through the government's major projects office. How involved is Canada's Defense Department been in prioritizing the next wave of critical mineral projects?
Canada, our Defense Department is cooperating with our Department of Natural Resources in order to help, first of all, identify the extent of critical minerals in Canada. We happen to be fortunate enough to possess in abundance 10 of the 12 core critical minerals that NATO describes as essential going forward. The Department of Natural Resources is busy now developing a plan to identify, to stockpile, to eventually develop. We have signed on to agreements at NATO to also contribute to the stockpiling of critical minerals. All the NATO countries have agreed to participate. The specifics of that deal are not something that are being negotiated by my department at this stage. I believe it's something that's actually at Natural Resources. When that announcement is made, there'll be more details provided. So I think we should stand by and wait.
But you have invoked the Defense Production Act. What does that involve?
That involves basically putting a priority focus on identifying the extent of those critical minerals. It involves processing them, if need be, more quickly. It involves cooperating amongst the departments. But like I say, we'll have more to say about this in detail when this announcement is made.
Minister, in an internal document that is unclassified, it calls for a supplementary force of 300,000 people to be drawn, prioritizing being drawn from the public service. Why do we need a supplementary force of 300,000? That seems very large.
Well, first of all, it's no surprise, no secret, Judy, that we are recruiting. If anybody is listening or can hear my voice or is reading what I'm saying in text, we're asking any Canadian and all Canadians to join us in the Canadian Armed Forces. We're looking for 15,000 people in the regular and reserve forces. It's no surprise that the Department of National Defence and Canadian Armed Forces would look to many sources to recruit people from, including people who are already dedicated to public service. They may be federal, they may be provincial, they may be municipal, they may be in business, they may be in the banking sector, they may be on Bay Street, they may be coming from a shop floor. We're looking for part-time and full-time folks to join us. Yesterday I spent the day, or half the day, with 250 reservists who come from every walk of life. Some public servants, some engineers, some builders, some developers, some financial folks, people in the healthcare sector I met yesterday. So it's no surprise we are recruiting actively. The notion of having a civil force or civil group of Canadians who are ready, willing, and able to serve their country is something that has been talked about for years in Canada. It's something that our allies are doing and pursuing very, very actively. I met 2 days ago with 14 outstanding women leaders from 14 different militaries around the world, and in countries like Finland, Sweden, our Nordic allies. They are actively working to recruit and retain folks the same way that we're looking to do so. So this is a part of an overall expansion, and it's no surprise that we're doing this. We've just made $82 billion available in the budget to strengthen our Canadian Armed Forces. So this is exactly what we intend to keep doing, and it's interesting. There's been quite a positive take-up.
Positive take-up in the sense that people realize that we're in a more dangerous world, so that's why the 300,000 is being widely accepted.
Well, I think the positive take-up referred more specifically to the fact that recruitment is up 55% from last year. The number of applications are increasing. The number of folks who are looking to join, the people who are looking at these opportunities, the pay and remuneration package has been provided now for our Canadian Armed Forces, making it more attractive to recruit and to retain. All of this is having a bearing on a really wonderful opportunity to serve Canada. So this is something that's being thought out. Our folks at CAF are looking to expand, obviously in the regular ranks, obviously through the reserves, and the idea of having a civilian corps is something that's not new. In fact, if you talk to provinces like Ontario and Quebec, When they launched their own civilian corps to be helpful in terms of emergency management, they were oversubscribed very quickly. Canadians want to help. This is a good time for Canadians to step up. So this is something that we're looking at, and it's, I think, a very positive development.
The CEO of the Defense Investment Agency begins his first day on the job today, Doug Bisman. Are you going to ask him to take a look at the F-35 contract, or is that already finished, and what is the status of that?
Well, the good news is the CEO is starting today. Thanks for reminding me. Mr. Guzman is going to come in and professionalize the way in which we procure goods and services for DND and CAF. I'm very anxious to see him hit the ground running. He's got a number of big projects on his plate. Obviously, the submarines will be number one. The F-35 remains under review. It will remain under review until it's not. And so at this stage, he's got his hands full with procurements. Anything over $100 million will be handled by the agency. Anything below $100 million will be handled by our senior ranks. So we are streamlining all of this procurement as we go forward. It will make, I think, things easier and more professional going forward.
The F-35 has to be directly negotiated with the U.S. government, not Lockheed Martin. Can you use the F-35 and the fact that the other planes have yet to be delivered and yet to be decided? Can you use that as a way of getting the Americans, getting the Trump administration back to the negotiating table?
The F-35 is negotiated with the manufacturer of the aircraft. Canada was one of the founding 8 countries that helped stand up the Joint Project Office in Washington, D.C. that oversees the aircraft and its development over many years. So this is something that is, again, under review, and that negotiation will continue eventually.
Félix Pilon de Radio-Canada, je pose des questions pour mes collègues. D'abord, il y a eu une rencontre récemment entre Michael Sebia et le PDG de Saab et une délégation suédoise va faire une visite chez Bombardier à Montréal la semaine prochaine. Est-ce que vous êtes en accord avec une flotte mixte de F-35 et de Gripen pour les forces armées canadiennes?
Ben, écoute, on discute avec plusieurs pays, plusieurs manufacturiers. On est en train de diversifier complètement nos achats, la production. On aura encore beaucoup plus à dire là-dessus avec la stratégie industrielle pour la défense du Canada qui va être lancée éventuellement. Pour le Canada, ça va avoir un impact significatif. Écoute, la famille royale de la Suède arrive au Canada, je pense, la semaine prochaine. Il y aura des réunions. Il y a plusieurs compagnies qui viennent ici au Canada pour en discuter. C'est positif pour le Canada. Nous achetons beaucoup des États-Unis, mais nous allons diversifier avec autres partenaires et nous allons investir ici au Canada. Écoute, ça touche la question fondamentale d'emploi, d'investissement et d'emploi au Canada. Nous aimerions voir le nombre de compagnies, par exemple, dans le secteur de la défense, augmenter de 600, peut-être à 1000 compagnies d'ici quelques années. Donc, la question de discussion et de négociation, ça continue.
Et de quelle manière la nouvelle ronde de grands projets d'intérêt national qui sera annoncée demain s'inscrit dans la stratégie canadienne en matière de défense?
C'est à voir. On va voir avec la liste demain ce qui va être lancé. Mais écoute, on est très sérieux quand ça vient à la question de lancer un secteur, de bâtir sur le secteur qui existe, mais d'améliorer, d'augmenter le secteur de l'industrie de la défense. Et nous avons toutes les capacités ici, toutes les ressources nécessaires, l'électricité, le fer, on a l'aluminium, on a les minéraux critiques. Tout ce qu'il nous faut est ici au Canada. Donc c'est pourquoi nous avons décidé d'investir en partie 82 milliards de dollars dans la défense, dans le budget. Et donc il y aura beaucoup plus à dire là-dessus cette semaine.
Peut-être juste une question sur l'annonce d'aujourd'hui. On parle de combien de maisons que vous voulez construire ici au 1495 Schmerin. Puis qu'est-ce que ça va changer concrètement pour le secteur ici d'Ottawa?
Ben, ça va avoir un impact majeur. On parle de 1100 maisons ici, sur 18 acres de terrain. Ça va avoir un impact immédiat dans notre communauté ici. Il y a un manque énorme de logements abordables. 40% va être abordable, comme j'ai dit dans mes notes quand j'ai parlé. Et puis, ça va être très, très positif. Il y a une longue liste d'attente pour les gens ici dans la ville, dans notre région. Et on espère que ça va aider immédiatement.
The U.S. has spoken about an international stabilizing force in Gaza. Other countries participating. Have you gotten any formal requests? Has the Canadian government gotten any formal requests?
The Department of National Defense and Canadian Forces is aware of all of those discussions. We are monitoring that carefully, and we are open to being of assistance. The question is how. over what time frame, what capacity, but we are following very closely what is happening in that region. Thanks, everybody.